10 engineering experts who looked into the structural stability of the SLBC tunnel in Telangana have found that an unexpected mudslide caused the roof to collapse, which led to 8 men being trapped. The men have been trapped since Saturday morning, and rescue operations have been underway for over 72 hours now. The experts said that the tunnel was prone to mudslides because it is a watering tunnel. The tunnel carries water from the Krishna River to Nalgonda. On Tuesday, SDRF, NRDF, and Army teams, which tried to carry out the rescue operation, stopped for a while because experts warned that more mudslides cannot be ruled out. Telangana's Irrigation Minister Uttam Kumar Reddy said that the accident could not have been prevented as it was not man-made.
This project was basically meant for irrigating 3 lakh acres of barren lands of Nalgonda district and also for drinking water to eradicate this fluoride affected population. And this was started during YS Rajshekar period, 44 kilometers length, out of which 35 kilometers was already completed. Most of it was done during YS period itself. The leftover was 9 kilometers, which the last government could not do in 10 years of time. Now, while doing the work like any other projects, after getting the certificates from the Geological Survey of India, and they started all of a sudden, it's a nature's disaster. All of a sudden, with a high velocity, got what we call flooded the total tunnel bursting with mud and water and also slurry, stones and all that. Got inundated almost the entire whole thing, where there were 50 people who were working. 42 were on top of the TBM mission and 8 were on the first floor of the mission. Who were on top, they could run because immediately the American company one by name some Clink is shouted, and immediately all people rushed and came out, some by swimming also. Others couldn't come, they are stuck now, 8 people. So now the rescuing operations are on. So it is a very tricky situation, horrible, very bad situation. Lot of slurry, mud, still the water is coming in and there is no access to go inside. One side is the pipes, one side is the conveyor belt, in the center is the railway track to carry the men and machinery and all that. So the process is on and now, but 11 agencies are working on this, both from defense, like Army, Navy, and also the disaster management rescue teams. But 11 agencies are working. The only thing is we are waiting for the reports from the Geological Survey of India and NRSA. So as to get, because the same problem should not recur. Whatever the rescue teams are, 50 or 100 people go inside, if the same problem recurs again, so the risk of their lives will be there. The rescue team's risk, life will be in risk. So we are assessing properly, but to make sure it will not collapse again. That's the reason assessing all the reviews are just now. Our irrigation minister, he has also reviewed the situation.
Sir, one side BRS party commenting on this issue.
BRS party is a senseless argument. How can they say, how can they comment, how can they point out a finger against this government? Because they are, during last 10 years, they could not complete this 9 kilometers of tunnel out of 44 kilometers. They could not complete. Having borrowed so much of loans, 7 lakh crores. How can, what moral right they got to criticize this government? It's all only to cover up their failure. Because they didn't, they could not complete 9 years, during 9 years time. So they don't have the moral right to comment on this government. This government, the Chief Minister and Irrigation Minister or the Concerned Minister, and everybody is for the last 4 days sitting here, working here and monitoring, organizing.